Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The humming of spacecraft engines filled the air as Jackson navigated through the busy markets of Umber Station. Vendors shouted about their vibrant wares, exotic food, shimmering fabrics, and glowing relics from distant worlds. As a pilot, he'd seen his fair share of alien systems, but there was something uniquely electric about the sprawling cosmopolitan atmosphere of Umber Station. Dressed in his worn leather jacket and cargo pants, Jackson blended into the crowd, searching for a tavern to keep his mind off the upcoming cargo run. His past was a tangled web, one he tried to escape, but the guilt never quite faded. He sighed, trying to shake the memories away, when a commotion caught his attention. In a nearby alley, a group of men surrounded a lone figure, their shouts echoing off the metal walls. Curiosity piqued, Jackson moved closer, his instincts kicking in. The center of the chaos was a girl, unlike anyone he had ever seen. Lyra. Her skin shimmered with iridescent hues, pulsating gently like waves of light. The living armor that encased her body shifted slightly, contracting as she stood her ground against her aggressors. The thugs laughed, tossing insults, all too ignorant of the beauty and strength before them. "Leave her alone," Jackson shouted as he stepped forward, adrenaline surging through his veins. His brashness ignited a spark of challenge among the thugs, who turned to assess this new contender. "Mind your own business, human," one of them growled, stepping closer to Lyra with malice in his eyes. Ignoring the warning, Jackson approached with determination. "I'm making it my business. Back off." His voice was steady, fueled by a mix of empathy and concern. Lyra turned toward him, her eyes wide, their color shifting with emotion, a deep blue swirling with hints of violet. In that moment, Jackson felt an unfamiliar sensation, a pull towards her. But before he could process it, the thug swung a fist aimed at Jackson. In a flash, Jackson retaliated, ducking under the blow and quickly countering. Blows were exchanged. Adrenaline distorted the surroundings into a blur. Jackson managed to land a hit, sending one of the attackers stumbling back. But the others were not easily deterred, inching closer with the intent to overwhelm him. Suddenly, Lyra's armor pulsed intensely. A wave of energy emanated from her, nearly knocking Jackson off balance. It expanded around her, reacting to the frantic energy in the air. In a matter of seconds, what was once a defensive barrier became an aggressive weapon, tendrils shooting out to shield her and lash out at the assailants. The thugs froze, confusion and fear overtaking their bravado. But with the ring of blaring alarms warning of impending security patrols, they quickly retreated, leaving Jackson and Lyra standing amidst the chaos. Breathing heavily, Jackson turned to her, eyes wide in awe. "What was that?" he asked, trying to decipher the alien technology that had just saved them. Lyra lowered her guard, the armor retracting slightly, but still shimmering with the remnants of her earlier fury. "It's my armor. It responds to my emotions. It protects me," she said softly, her voice trembling slightly, revealing vulnerability behind her fierce exterior. "Are you okay?" Jackson replied, stepping closer, heart racing now for a different reason. He noticed how the armor tightened lightly around her torso, reflecting her agitation. Lyra nodded tentatively, though the shimmer of her armor hinted at lingering distress. "You didn't need to intervene," she murmured, but her gaze held something deeper, a hint of appreciation mingled with uncertainty. "I couldn't just stand by." Jackson experienced an unanticipated warmth, drawn toward her uniqueness. "You're not alone here." The silence between them swelled, the air thick with unspoken emotions and the surrounding pomp of the station fading into the background. Lyra's gaze dropped, her armor shifting as if in conversation with her feelings. "Sometimes it's safer that way," she said quietly, her voice quivering. "I'm used to being on my own." Through Jackson's chest, a pang of recognition ignited. He understood solitude too well, a past etched with loss and regret. But he couldn't shake the awe he felt for this alien girl, her beauty, her strength, and the vulnerability hidden beneath the layers of her living armor. "Not anymore," he assured her, a smile breaking through his resolve. "Let's get out of here before they come back." With her armor still adjusting around her body, Lyra hesitated but eventually moved cautiously beside him, their steps in sync as they navigated away from the alley. An unspoken bond lingered in the air, a thread of connection weaving between the two very different beings. As they entered the bustling main corridor of the station, Jackson couldn't help but glance at Lyra. There was something about her that ignited a spark of curiosity within him, a desire to unravel the layers of her intriguing existence. Little did he know that this encounter was just the beginning of a journey that would test their strengths and challenge their understanding of love in ways none of their worlds could prepare them for. The following day, the sun filtered through the viewing deck of Umber Station, casting ribbons of light across the polished metal floors. Jackson sat at a corner table in a dimly lit tavern, nursing a drink while his mind replayed the events from the night before. The hum of chatter surrounded him, but it all faded into background noise as thoughts of Lyra captivated his attention. She intrigued him, the shimmer of her armor still vivid in his memory. There was a strength in her vulnerability, a juxtaposition Jackson had never encountered before. As the door chimed, he looked up and felt his heart skip a beat. There she was, Lyra, stepping into the tavern. Her presence drew subtle glances from other patrons, but her confidence seemed to push back the weight of their stares. The living armor sparkled with a soft luminescence, enveloping her like an aura that pulsated with her emotions. Jackson waved her over, an invitation freckled with excitement. "Hey, you made it!" he exclaimed, gesturing for her to sit. "I wanted to thank you," Lyra said, her voice mellow yet firm as she settled in. "What you did yesterday, it's not something everyone would have done." Jackson felt warmth bloom in his chest, but he quickly shrugged it off. It just felt right. Nobody should have to go through that, especially not someone like you. Her curious gaze rested on him, studying him with an intensity that made Jackson shift in his seat. "Someone like me? You've barely known me, Jackson." "True," he admitted. "But there's something about you, Lyra. You're not just another person in this station. I can see you're strong. That armor, it's incredible." Lyra's expression softened at his words, and for a moment, she appeared almost shy. "You don't know the pressures that come with it. The armor is a part of me, but it also isolates me. It keeps me safe from physical harm, but creates barriers, too. People see the armor before they see me." Jackson leaned in, captivated by her candidness. "I get that. I may not wear a suit like yours, but I've got my own past. I've been judged for it before. Sometimes it feels easier to stay hidden." Lyra's armor shimmered softly, an indication that she understood his vulnerability. "Why don't you tell me about it?" she urged, her sea blue eyes inviting him to share. He hesitated, grappling with memories he preferred to bury deep. But something about Lyra made him want to open up, to connect. "I was a pilot for a cargo crew, roaming the galaxy with them. We were in a bad spot during a regular run, under attack by space raiders. We barely made it out, but," he halted, gripping his glass tightly. "I lost my crew that day. I never forgave myself." Lyra's expression shifted, empathy blossoming in her features. "That's heavy. I can't imagine the weight of that burden." "Yeah," Jackson sighed. "It sticks with you. You start to build walls, convinced that being there for others will just lead to pain." He paused, meeting her gaze. "But then something shifts, and you want to let someone in again." The air around them thickened with unspoken understanding. They both carried scars, marks of their existence that they could barely unveil. The world outside continued to swirl in a chaotic dance, but in this moment, it felt as if they were cocooned within a safe bubble. "Do you want to know more about my armor?" Lyra asked, breaking the heaviness of the silence. "It's more than just a protective shell." "Absolutely," Jackson replied eagerly, curiosity burning within him. Lyra took a deep breath. Her armor shimmered and contracted, transforming slightly as she demonstrated. "It's sentient," she began, a hint of pride evident in her voice. "It responds to my feelings, reflecting my state of being. It's my companion, protecting me, yes, but also amplifying my emotions. When I feel happy, it glows like a star. When I'm sad, it becomes dull, almost shadowed." "That's amazing," Jackson breathed, his fascination growing. "Can it feel anything on its own?" "I believe so," Lyra explained. It reacts to the energy surrounding me, my fears, joys, and everything in between. Sometimes it feels like I'm wearing my heart on my skin, which can be overwhelming. I wish I could hide it sometimes. But there's beauty in that vulnerability, Jackson said, his voice barely above a whisper. You're brave, letting it show the world who you are, even if it's scary. With a gentle smile, Lyra's armor glimmered brighter. You think so? Definitely, he affirmed. I mean, it might take me a while to figure out my own vulnerability, but anyone who shares their true self, as you do, is truly courageous. Lyra's expression softened, and for a brief moment, Jackson thought he saw something deeper reflected in her eyes, an understanding that transcended the spoken word. Something within him stirred as he realized the growing connection between them. He longed to bridge the gaps that separated their worlds and discover the intricacies of Lyra's existence beyond her armor. So, Jackson said with a renewed spark, what's next? Want to show me more about your world? Lyra's eyes lit up with shared excitement. I'd love that, but promise to be careful. There's a lot more to my life than even I can explain. The galaxy isn't as welcoming to those like me all the time. Well, I'm not going anywhere, he replied, his resolve firm. Besides, I've got your back now. The two of them exchanged smiles, forging a pact of understanding and exploration of both their worlds. Their journey was only beginning. The following week unfolded like a dance of discovery for Jackson and Lyra. As they walked the bustling corridors of Umber Station, they turned every corner into an adventure, each moment deepening their connection. Jackson found himself immersed in Lyra's world, learning about her culture and the intricacies of her living armor. Today, they ventured to one of the station's observation decks, a stunning location overlooking a nebula that glowed in vibrant hues of pink and purple. As they stood side by side, the colors reflected on Lyra's armor, casting a mesmerizing light across her features. Wow! Jackson breathed, captivated by the sight. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Lyra turned to him, her armor shimmering like stained glass. This nebula is home to my people's legend of creation. They say it was born when two celestial bodies collided, creating new stars and worlds, just like how we create connections despite the chaos around us. He marveled at her poetic view of existence. That's beautiful, Lyra. Your people must have a rich culture. Yes, she replied, a hint of pride in her voice. But it's also a burden. We are often misunderstood. This armor, while a symbol of our strength, has also led to our isolation. People fear what they don't understand. Jackson nodded, feeling the weight of her words resonate with his own experiences. I get that. Many people have a hard time seeing beyond appearances. I know it can be hard to break through those barriers. Lyra turned her gaze to the nebula, her expression thoughtful. The armor is more than just protection. It's a part of me. It limits my interactions with others, often before they even know me. I wish people could see you without the armor first, Jackson said softly, daring to step closer. Not just the exterior. Her gaze flickered back to him, the flickering lights from her armor dancing in the reflection of her eyes. You see me. That's why it's different with you. I've never felt quite this safe with anyone else. The spark of connection surged between them, igniting Jackson's heart. You have every right to feel safe, Lyra. He hesitated, weighing his words, and to be seen for who you really are. In the depths of her sea-blue eyes, he noticed layers of emotion, curiosity, hope, and the shadow of fear. Would you like to see me without my armor? She asked tentatively. Jackson's breath caught in his throat. This was a monumental step, a signal of trust that had blossomed between them. If you're comfortable, yes. I would love that. Lyra hesitated, her armor shimmering nervously. It's a different form of vulnerability, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. But I trust you. Just understand it's a process. I promise, I'll cherish whatever you decide to share with me, he reassured her. Taking a deep breath, Lyra lowered her gaze, focusing inward. Jackson could sense the energy shifting as her living armor began to pulse with a gentle rhythm. Slowly, the armor began to retract, morphing back into a form that exposed more of her skin, the hue still radiant, but now unmasked. Jackson's heart raced as her armor peeled away, revealing delicate features and an ethereal beauty that sent a shiver down his spine. Lyra stood elegantly before him, vulnerable yet stunning, a vision of strength and fragility combined. "Wow," he breathed. "You're breathtaking." Lyra's lips curled into a shy smile, an expression of warmth flickering through her. "Thank you." Gathering courage, Jackson stepped closer, his pulse quickening. "What you showed me, that's truly you." "Yes," she responded, her voice a soft melody filled with nervous laughter. "But it's also terrifying." "Why?" Jackson asked gently. "Because with this choice comes fear, fear of rejection, fear of judgment. The armor makes it easier to deflect curiosity and avoid pain." Her eyes searched his for reassurance. "But by revealing my true self, I'm taking a leap of faith." "I understand," he said earnestly. "But I'm here because I want to know your heart, not just your armor." Lyra's armor fluttered back into a protective formation around her, but it was softer now, encasing her with care rather than restriction. "It feels different," she confessed, the glow of her armor reflecting her emotions, now a tapestry of trust. "Different can be good," Jackson offered, wanting to ease her anxiety. "You don't have to rush into anything. Take it step by step as you wish. I'm just glad we're in this together." Their connection deepened that day, no longer just grounded in shared spaces, but strengthened by vulnerability and the desire to understand each other's worlds. Lyra reached out, and as her hand brushed against Jackson's, the warmth of her living armor mingled with his skin. Feeling emboldened, he pulled her close, their lips mere inches apart. Just then, the starry backdrop of the nebula reflected their closeness, a cosmic display emphasizing the serendipity of their encounter. In that moment, an invisible thread entwined their fates, an unspoken promise to explore the intricate lessons of love that lay ahead, fueled by their differences and shared journeys. A new day dawned over Umber Station, painting the sky with streaks of orange and lavender, and with it came the promise of exploration. As Jackson and Lyra continued their journey of discovery, their connection deepened, transcending the boundaries of their worlds. They met again in the same tavern, where they first spoke of their vulnerabilities, a place that had quickly become a sanctuary for them both. Today, the atmosphere buzzed with laughter and warmth from newly formed friendships, but Jackson's attention was fixed solely on Lyra. "Today, I want to show you something truly special," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "Count me in. Where are we headed?" Jackson replied, already imagining another adventure unfolding before them. "Follow me," she beckoned, her living armor reflecting the glimmers of anticipation nestled beneath her confidence. They wound through the corridors of the station, passing through bustling markets filled with colorful stalls. As they navigated, Jackson reveled in watching Lyra interact with the various alien species. She drew curious glances, her vibrant presence shining brightly, but she held her head high, a testament to the strength she found within their burgeoning companionship. Eventually, they arrived at a secluded section of the station. The room was dim, walls made of smooth, dark stone unmarred by the decorations of the busy markets. Brass panels adorned with intricate carvings glimmered in the low light, hinting at the culture that once thrived in silence. "This is an ancient chamber," Lyra explained, her voice echoing in the vast emptiness. "It's said to hold the stories of my people. They used to gather here to share tales of their ancestors, our history, our legends." Jackson gazed at the carvings in awe, the artwork intricately depicting the fusion of her people and the universe, celestial battles, the creation of stars, and tender moments of connection that resonated deeply within him. "It's remarkable," he said, gently tracing a finger along one of the carvings. "It reminds us of where we come from," she continued, her voice resonating with reverence. "Stories embody our struggles, our triumphs, and our essence." As she stepped further into the chamber, her armor shimmered, reacting not only to her emotions, but to the energy of the space itself. "This place feels alive," Jackson noted, enchanted by the shifting colors reflecting both their moods. "Exactly," Lyra said, an air of pride enveloping her. "We believe our emotions can transcend the physical realm and be etched into the very fabric of existence, even in places like this. I've never thought of emotions that way, Jackson admitted, struck by the depth of her perspective. In my world, emotions often serve as conduits for pain, not connection. We don't tell our stories enough. Lyra turned to him, her expression softening. Then let us change that. She gestured toward an empty stone pedestal at the center of the chamber. Would you like to share your story here? Jackson's stomach fluttered. The vulnerability implicated in sharing his past with her was daunting, yet the openness in Lyra's eyes urged him on. You really want to hear it? More than anything, she urged, her living armor glowing softly, signaling her genuine interest. Taking a deep breath, Jackson stepped toward the pedestal, feeling the magnetic energy of the room enveloping him. I was a pilot for a cargo crew, a crew that meant everything to me. We traversed the galaxy, sharing laughs, struggles, life. They were my family. His heart ached at the memory, but he pressed onward. One day, we were ambushed by raiders. I made a choice that changed everything. I took us through a route I thought was safe, but his voice faltered momentarily, memories flooding back. I lost them all. Their faces are etched in my mind every day since. I thought I could keep them safe, but I failed. The weight of grief creased his voice, and he felt the tide of emotion hitting him anew. But as he glanced at Lyra, he found her expression a mix of compassion and strength. It's not just grief I carry, he continued, but guilt, that my choices cost those I loved their lives. In the silent tension that followed, Lyra stepped closer, her aura shimmering with empathy. Jackson, it wasn't your fault. You did your best with the information you had at the time. Holding on to guilt won't bring them back. You owe it to yourself to forgive. What if I never can? He murmured, the truth of his weighty past settling on his shoulders. Then share the burden with me, she offered softly, her armor shifting gently into a comforting embrace. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, Jackson felt an indescribable affinity surge within him. Some part of his heart began to thaw beneath the weight of his sorrow. He returned the sentiment, sharing tales not previously spoken even to himself. Tales of laughter, of camaraderie, and triumph intertwined with the aches of loss unfolded between them, each word pulling them closer. Once Jackson finished, he felt lighter yet deeply exposed. Thank you for letting me share, he said. It means a lot to have someone understand, even a little. It's hard for me to open up. It's just as hard for me, Lyra confessed, her armor glimmering with a gentle warmth. But sharing our burdens binds us in ways that protect us both. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving together. Lyra stepped closer once more, and Jackson guided a hand forward, cautiously lifting his fingers to touch the elegance of her armor. Can I? He asked, seeking her consent for this intimate moment. Her eyes flickered with emotions, trust, admiration, and shared vulnerability. Yes, she whispered. As he touched her armor, it melted softly against his fingertips, the warmth radiating through him. He marveled at how it felt, a tangible reflection of her spirit. Now it's my turn, Lyra said, determination illuminating her features. Let me share some pieces of my own story, the burdens and joys that come with being me. In this ancient chamber, beneath the echoes of the past, Jackson felt the strands of connection tightening, two souls intertwining, uncovering layers of beauty hidden beneath the armor of their hearts. Together, they forged a new narrative, one that promised to illuminate the shadows of their past while embracing the boundless possibilities of the future. Days blended into nights as Jackson and Lyra continued to navigate the depths of their intertwined lives aboard Umber Station. They sought understanding in each other's worlds, delving into shared experiences that broke barriers and built trust. After uncovering their stories within the ancient chamber, Lyra took the lead in sharing her experiences, inviting Jackson deeper into her life. She opened up about her childhood, recounting the customs of her people and the rituals surrounding the living armor they wore. Today, their journey led them to the training ground situated in the heart of the station, a space where warriors of different races trained to showcase their skills. The arena was bustling with activity, the clang of metal and the chatter of competitors filling the air. Here, We face our fears and hone our strengths, Lyra explained, her living armor shimmering possessively around her. Many of my people participate in these challenges, forging bonds as we prepare for the threats we face. I can see you fit right in, Jackson replied, his excitement bubbling over. What do you want me to do? Just stand back and watch. In a way, she mused, a playful smile gracing her lips. But I'd like for you to participate, if you're comfortable. Participate? He raised an eyebrow, half excited and half dreadful. In what way? Trust me, she said, confidence radiating from her smile. I will guide you. It's a good way to grow stronger and show you that I'm not just a shield. I can be fierce. All right then, he agreed, curiosity outweighing the butterflies in his stomach. Once they entered the training arena, Jackson felt the gravity of their surroundings tugging him towards something invigorating yet terrifying. Lyra's fierce demeanor motivated him, and he was eager to display his growth alongside her. She motioned him to step toward a training partner, an agile alien with multiple limbs. Their opponent prepared to demonstrate basic combat techniques, each swift movement revealing fluidity balanced with strength. Jackson watched closely, taking in the rhythmic motions, his heart pounding as their gazes locked in an understanding. Just relax, Lyra advised, her armor pulsating softly at her sides. Feel the energy around you. Take your time. It's not solely about power, but about movement. Use your instincts. Jackson nodded, shifting into position, and before long, he and his opponent began their sparring match. He focused intently, trying to channel the lessons Lyra had shared with him. The clashing of bodies produced a symphony of effort, each move a testament to determination. Although he stumbled at first, the instinct to adapt came naturally. Every jab, dodge, and pivot brought forth the echoes of his past experiences, the memories of loss transforming into bursts of resilience. Eventually, he managed to land a strike on his opponent, leading to spirited cheers from nearby spectators. Sweat trickled down his brow, but he couldn't help but smile, the rush of adrenaline coursing through him. He found himself catching glimpses of not just his strength, but the armor of his past being stripped away. Woo, you've got some moves. Lyra cheered, her voice ringing with joy. Once the match concluded, Jackson stepped off the training field, exhilarated yet breathless. I didn't know I had that in me. That was intense. Lyra approached him, her eyes sparkling with pride. See, you've released a piece of your heart, facing fears and embracing strength. Thanks for pushing me, he replied, desire burning in his eyes. It takes courage to put yourself out there like that. But it's easier when you have someone beside you, she countered, her gaze serious. You've inspired me to be braver. I don't have to wear my armor when I'm with you. Jackson felt a surge of warmth at her compliment. Then let's keep pushing each other, he proposed, determination sparking in his core. I want to learn more about you, your culture, especially about how your armor reacts to emotions. I'd love that, she said, verified excitement evident in her demeanor. The relationship between my armor and emotions can be nuanced. It's not just a shield, it embodies my essence. Let's explore that connection then, Jackson encouraged. I'd like to understand how you express vulnerability through it and what makes you feel safe. Lyra paused, her expression shifting to contemplation. It's a complex relationship. It shows my fear when I feel threatened, but it also shields me when I'm overwhelmed. With you, I want to learn to embrace it fully. Together, Jackson reaffirmed, sensing the shared intent that tethered their paths. As they moved away from the training arena, a soft spark ignited within Jackson, a desire to peel back another layer, to learn more about how they could mesh their differences. A new chapter lay before them, built on mutual courage and the promise to support each other. As the day warmed into evening, they wandered into a secluded garden on the station, where bioluminescent plants thrived under artificial starlight. It was a serene sanctuary that felt worlds apart from the hustle and bustle of the marketplace, a perfect place to breathe, reflect, and deepen their connection. Together, they settled on a stone bench, gazing at the softly glowing flora. The silence was comforting, filled with each other's presence rather than words. It felt as if they had discovered a shared solace, a wellspring of connection growing with every moment. "Look at those plants," Jackson remarked, nodding towards the bioluminescent flora. "They illuminate the dark, just like your armor shows the light within you." Lyra smiled, the hues of her armor reflecting the plant's glow. "Perhaps we can illuminate the darkness within each other, revealing our truths and our vulnerabilities, and find strength in the shadows we cast," Jackson replied, heart pounding in sync with the rhythm of the luminous garden. "Just like I did today," she affirmed, her eyes brimming with a soft glow. "We can face everything that comes our way together." With the stars twinkling overhead, a silent promise hung in the air, the magic of their shared journey burgeoning forth. They were ready to uncover the depths of their hearts, embracing every piece of their existence, determined to rise stronger together. As the days passed aboard Umber Station, Jackson and Lyra ventured deeper into their journey of understanding, trust, and vulnerability. Each day reinforced the bond they shared, an unbreakable connection that transcended the barriers of their worlds. But an undercurrent of uncertainty lingered. Rumors of a rising threat from the Raider faction still loomed over the station, casting shadows on their progress. Jackson had heard whispers of preparations for an impending attack targeting allies of their kind, including Lyra and her kin. One quiet evening, as they lingered in the bioluminescent garden, Jackson turned the conversation toward the future. "With everything happening, I'm worried about what's to come. I can already sense a storm brewing." Lyra's expression grew serious as she traced her fingers along the glowing plants. "I know. My people are preparing. The living armor I wear isn't just for show. It is meant to protect and empower, but the fear of conflict shakes us." "Then let's prepare together," Jackson insisted, his heart swelling with purpose. "We can be stronger if we unite the humans and your people against this threat. It's time they see your worth and how powerful we can be as allies." A fire ignited in Lyra's eyes, her armor glowing in cohesion with her determination. "You're right. We must show them that despite our differences, we stand stronger united. If we can gather support from the allies here, we could turn the tide." Over the next few days, they devised a plan. With Lyra's knowledge of her people's customs and Jackson's interpersonal skills, they began rallying support among the diverse residents of Umber Station. They shared their stories, the lessons learned through shared vulnerabilities, reminding others that compassion and unity could conquer fear. As their message spread, and with Jackson's charisma and Lyra's resilient spirit leading the way, they managed to gather an impressive coalition. With races united under a common purpose, emotions ran high as they prepared themselves for what was inevitable. On the eve of the Raider faction's expected return, Jackson and Lyra stood on the observation deck, overlooking the reaches of space alongside their newfound allies. "Tomorrow, we stand together," Jackson said, his determination strong. "This will be our moment to show them they can't fear what they don't understand." Lyra's gaze shifted to meet his. "And I'll face my fears too. No more hiding behind my armor. I fight for all we've built." As they shared quiet moments of reflection, the connection between them amplified. No longer just about courage, but about love. The luminous aura of Lyra's armor mirrored the emotions pulsating within her, signs of her newfound strength and trust. "Whatever tomorrow brings," she whispered, moving closer, "I'll face it, as long as you're by my side." "Always," he promised, taking her hand in his. When the skies darkened, the looming threat finally materialized. Raiding ships pierced through the atmosphere, darkening the horizon as they unleashed chaos. The collective forces of Jackson and Lyra stood their ground, awaiting the moment they would make their stand. The battleground was charged with energy, an orchestra of shouts and the cacophony of battle cries filling the air. Jackson and Lyra fought side by side, heartened with the knowledge that they each carried a piece of the other within them. Lyra's armor glimmered fiercely, reacting dynamically to her emotions as she deflected incoming hits while retaliating with powerful strikes. Jackson found himself encouraged by her fierce bravery. His spirit ignited as they became an unstoppable force against the tide of chaos. But amid the battle, Jackson spotted a familiar figure, one of the raiders he recognized from his past. Rage molded his instincts, a reminder of everything he had lost. "Lyra," I need to take care of something, he called, determination burning within him. Be careful, she shouted as he surged ahead, adrenaline coursing through his veins as he faced his demons head-on. In that moment, he remembered the call of duty, the choices that had haunted him for too long. The clash between his past and present converged, stirring the remnants of fear within him. But with every step, he felt Lyra's presence bolstering his resolve. Not again, he breathed, as he confronted the Raider leader in a fierce exchange. Fueled by anger, determination, and purpose, Jackson's fight became personal. In the heat of the moment, he delivered swift blows that brought him closer to closure. But as the battle raged on, Jackson became aware that his actions would not only affect his own fate, but every life gathered in solidarity. And in the flashes of conflict, he caught glimpses of Lyra defending their allies, standing strong and resolute, her presence anchoring him. With renewed heart, he fought harder, embodying the love and purpose they had cultivated. In that moment, he wasn't just fighting for himself, but for Lyra, their shared dreams, and the hope of a brighter future. Together, they drove back the Raider faction, an unyielding force of compassion and valor fueled by the connections they forged. Victory echoed through the chambers of Umber Station, leaving behind the promise of unity. With the battle won, Jackson and Lyra found solace amid the aftermath, a soft glow radiating between them as they stepped onto the observation deck once again. Together, they bore witness to the dawning of a new era. We did it, Lyra exclaimed, her armor glimmering with pride as she looked up at him. You chose courage, and together we changed our fates. Not just mine, but all of ours, Jackson smiled, pulling her close. We will keep moving forward, side by side, heart in heart. Under the tapestry of stars, they embraced, knowing that the bond they had cultivated reached far deeper than mere understanding. It was love forged in adversity, a light that could illuminate any darkness, a commitment to live honestly and courageously. As the future stretched before them, the horizon shimmered with infinite possibilities, a testament to their resilience and unity. Together, they would continue to defend not only their worlds, but the love that encompassed them, ready to craft an extraordinary legend of their own.